What's up, everybody? This is Frank James on the Frank James channel. I'm sure a lot of you clicked away after that intro. Thank you all for joining me. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a big deal to me because I wasn't really sure that I was ever going to get there. So thank you very much for subscribing. I've been getting a lot of interesting comments now that I've gotten, this somewhat wider exposure. Because, when it's a smaller audience, everyone's more or less nice. But now the silly geese are coming out of the woodwork and saying all kinds of interesting things. I've also gotten my first couple of comments suggesting, hey, you're not an INFJ. You charlatan. Not all of them are nasty. Actually, one was very well written and was like, hey, don't take this the wrong way, but looking at how you're talking about things, you're probably INFP. And I was like, look, if that's what you think, that's fine, and you could be right. I'm not an expert. It doesn't really take any certification to make a video on YouTube. All it takes is a camera, an internet connection, and a bit of magic. Yeah, I have thought about it a lot, do I really understand the functions and everything? Am I actually INFJ? I think I'm gonna do like a video series about this because I'm learning a lot. I find it very interesting, and why not? I want to be very open about this. I don't know with 100% certainty if someone who knew what they were doing when it comes to the Myers-Briggs test would say, yeah, Frank James, he's an INFJ. There are things that I keep coming back to, though, where I feel like, yeah, I'm probably INFJ by these standards. Specifically, I don't know if an INFP whose main function is inner feeling would constantly question how they feel about things as often as I do, where I just don't understand my own emotions. Yes, I can talk at length about my emotions and understand them to a degree, but a lot of times I'm kind of in the dark, and a lot of my mental power is spent on trying to figure out, how do I actually feel about this situation? And I don't really know. Sometimes I never figure it out. So anyway, I do appreciate those kind of comments. If you're like, hey, my understanding of the function is XYZ, you seem to be exhibiting this, so maybe you're actually, this other type. That's great. I like that kind of dialogue. But there's another side to it where people get so wrapped up in this whole INFJ thing, and when they see someone that they don't like, and I'm such an unlikable person, that they're like, no, man, you're not like me. You're not INFJ. F you. F everyone. I'm going to go drink alone in my room. Why do you get to that point? Why does anyone get to that point where they need to lash out over someone's self-reported Myers-Briggs type? Guys, we're talking about something that's listed on Wikipedia as a pseudoscience, okay? We're not talking about something that's objectively testable. There are some people who are working towards how we can be more objective about it. The thing is, though, INFJ, INF whatever, all this Myers-Briggs stuff, these are just words, okay? The reality is you and me. Then there's this idea, this concept of, oh, someone uses their intuition and all that. And then there's this word attached to all of these ideas, INFJ. And it's people really get attached to this label to the point where that's you. Oh my gosh. And if anything threatens it, someone else is different, then you've got to lash out and attack it. But guys, look at this. This is symbolic. This doesn't mean anything. Well, okay, it means something. But that's not reality. It's a word. And like I say, it's not a science, and it's not a religion, and it's not even a political affiliation. There are no badges to be handed out because you're an INFJ and you're, something else. It's just a personality test. It's supposed to be an interesting way of exploring yourself and all that crap. But anyway, most of you people commenting are not silly geese, and I'm loving all the comments that I'm seeing. A lot of very thoughtful things are being said. A couple of you have even said, oh man, I want to start doing videos too. Yeah, do it. It doesn't take much. You probably have a camera on your phone. Just record a video about what you think. Express yourself. Try to start a dialogue. Don't get discouraged if it's slow at first and no one's watching your videos, don't get discouraged, because that's probably what's going to happen. No one's going to watch them at first. Just do it for yourself. Express yourself. Imagine connecting with just one person out there. And maybe eventually, if you keep at it, you find it's something you like, you'll find that traction. And you just keep working at it. You learn how to make videos. You learn how to express yourself. You learn how to talk to this inanimate object and pretend that it's a person. And it's not something that you reach overnight success with. Okay, and lastly, I am a huge Beatles fan. Today I heard Strawberry Fields Forever on the radio, and I've heard that song hundreds, if not thousands of times, and suddenly it was like I understood the lyrics, and I was like, dear Lord, this is my life right now. I know that sounds like kind of like a druggy thing to say, you know, like, man, I finally heard the song for the first time, man. But that's really what it was like. Specifically, I'm not going to recite the entire song, and I hope I got this right, because that'll be really embarrassing, but no one, I think, is in my tree. I mean, it must be high or low. Whoa, like I finally understand what it means. Like, I don't know if I'm above everyone else or below everyone else, like what vibration I'm on, but no one else is on it. And it's such a great song. Some people say John Lennon was an INFJ. I don't know. I kind of am skeptical of all that celebrity typology stuff, because it's like, you didn't know them personally. You're just seeing this public image. How do you know? But the song itself, the lyrics of that song do kind of speak like an INFJ, I think, would. Any intuitive, I think, could speak that way. Though John is not my favorite Beatle, Paul is my favorite Beatle. I think the way that Paul can be so sentimental and light and live in the moment and not attach too much heaviness to the past, and the way he doesn't really question reality at all, I'm very attracted to that, because it's not a way that I could ever live. So Paul's my favorite Beatle. Actually, I do have this to show off for the arts and culture segment of the show. It's Sgt. Pepper on vinyl, and it's like an original pressing, I believe. Got, like, you know, the full gate or gatefold, whatever you call it. It's even got these. This is pretty rare. That came in all these cutouts, these Sgt. Pepper cutouts. You can put that on your sleeve. You can cut out a mustache. Okay, so question of the day. Well, multiple questions, okay? What's a song that you heard for years and years, and then finally the lyrics clicked and you were like, I get it now. You had this epiphany moment. And then the second question, the burning second question, is who's your favorite Beatle and why? And this is perhaps the most important question you'll ever answer, so choose wisely. Thanks very much for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos and see if I find out that I'm actually some other type and this was all a big charade, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and you can follow along this big train wreck that's about to happen. The train wreck of my life. All right, you guys stay cool. Don't let the silly geese get to you. And until next time, stay weird. Don't get too normal, for my sake.